I have spent the last several days challenging myself to use things up in my pantry, fridge, and freezer. So I'm gonna rewind here in just a minute and show you how I did that. But right now, I just pulled into Walmart because my pantry, fridge, and freezer are now ready for a bit of a restock. And of course, in addition to groceries, I still have my list of random household items that I'm running around to pick up for us and for my family, like the athletic socks that my daughter McKenna needs, the soup ladle that I need for my kitchen, and the watering can that we need for our backyard. I'm actually picking up another one of these water bottles from Water Drop today. They are sponsoring today's video, and I ordered this one from the company a couple months back. You've seen it in my videos a few times, but they actually just launched at Walmart, so you can pick these up at Walmart now. I have one of the glass water bottles. It comes with a protective sleeve, and I love it, but I'm going to pick up one of the stainless steel bottles today because my oldest daughter really likes this product, including the flavor drops that you can purchase to flavor your water, but she has to have stainless steel because she's a swimmer and they can't take glass containers to the pool, so the stainless steel one will be perfect for her. The Water Drop flavorings come in several different flavors. They're 100% sugar-free. They make them from fruit and plant extracts, and they source those from all over the world, the highest quality. I have tried several of them, but this peach ginger is a favorite of ours. All you have to do is drop one of these into your Water Drop bottle filled with water and let it dissolve. I add a little ice to mine. It's a very mild, subtle flavor. Like I said, my daughter really likes these. I really like them, and it makes it so much easier to get my water into my day, to drink all my water. Here at Walmart, they also have this elderberry lime blossom flavor, and then these two flavors actually have caffeine in them, so they're more of like an energy water drop, and they come in the cola nut and the mango. Check out Water Drop, available now in Walmart. I found them in the checkout aisle. And thank you again to Water Drop for sponsoring today's video. My cart is definitely getting full as I restock our produce and just some of our favorite items that we often have on hand in our kitchen. We've used a lot of it up over the past week because I find it very helpful before I do these big grocery hauls just to take a look at what I already have on hand and see if I can make a few days worth of meals out of like open packages of things, out of maybe produce that's still in my refrigerator that needs to get used up. So before I show you my grocery haul, let's rewind a few days and I'll show you how I was able to accomplish that, making meals and snacks and just using some stuff up from our pantry, fridge, and freezer in our kitchen. It is Monday, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit tired because I did not prioritize rest this weekend the way that I should have. But I am coming out to the kitchen to do what I normally do when I start one of these use it up challenges, or I make, my attempts to clean out the fridge or delay going to the grocery store. And that is to take stock of what we already have. And one of the first questions I try to answer when I am doing this particular task is, what already prepped meals need to be used up? Already prepped meals, AKA leftovers. That would be a much more succinct way of saying that. But meals that are already made, where there are servings that need to get eaten. I just finished filming a week-long budget meal plan video, and there are still a few leftovers of things that I made for that particular meal plan that can definitely turn into a serving of a meal for somebody. Another thing I'm looking at is whether or not I have some already prepped ingredients that can easily be thrown together for a meal for somebody. For instance, like a fully cooked meat, like a sausage or a chicken, and maybe some pasta that's already been made up, or some rice, some vegetables, something like that that I can throw together on a plate that can certainly be dinner for somebody. Or I might look and see if there are like odds and ends of cheeses or vegetables or fruit that I can throw together on a snack board for either, an after school snack or maybe even a snack supper. A lot of times I will immediately discover that I already have at least one meal's worth of those type of items for my entire family. So not everybody's plate will look the same tonight, but everybody will have something to eat from some of those categories that I mentioned, because I can already see that I have plenty of food that's already cooked and prepped and ready to eat, which is a blessing today because I'm kind of tired, if you can't tell. It is Tuesday. And I wish I had something more exciting to share with you than spaghetti, but that is what I am making tonight. And since I try to keep it real here on this channel and just share realistic tips for, facing all the problems that we come across here in our family kitchens, I'm just going to share with you that spaghetti is a meal that I make a lot on days like today because it is a meal that we can eat in shifts. and everybody needs to eat dinner at a slightly different time tonight. It's the one day a week when it's even busier than the rest of the days in the evenings, and the kids' activities kind of keep us coming and going. So it's really easy for me just to cook up some pasta early in the afternoon and then throw some ingredients for spaghetti sauce into the slow cooker, and then it's ready for everybody to heat up and make their plates when they are ready throughout the evening to eat. Plus, I have some sausage in the freezer that has been in there for a while that I really need to use up, and that makes this even easier because sausage is heavily seasoned, so I won't have to add too much extra seasoning to my slow cooker spaghetti sauce. And I have 2 boxes of partially used spaghetti noodles. For some reason, I ended up with 2 boxes open, so it'll be great to get those used up and out of my pantry. And speaking of being real and being honest, I am also looking to press the easy button tonight because my allergies have just been killing me this allergy season. I mean, I don't know, it's just been worse than other years. I know it's allergies because my face gets really itchy and I sneeze and I get super tired. I mean, I went to bed last night at like 7 p.m. because I could not keep my eyes open. Does anybody else have that happen? Is anybody else having a rough allergy season? Also, leave me a comment and let me know what your go-to meals are when your family needs to eat in shifts, eat at different times throughout the evening. Does anybody else find themselves in that spot occasionally? Do you find yourselves needing a meal that's like really easy for everybody to just eat at different times throughout the evening? I mean, I know there's always soups and stuff, but coming into spring, like we don't do a lot of soups and stews and things, but let me know if you have meals that are really good for that type of evening. It is Wednesday morning and I just managed to use up basically the last of this package of ground coffee that I've had in this container for a while, so yay. I thought I would share with you guys the progress that we are making in the pantry so far. A lot of the stuff on this shelf are things that the kids use to pack lunches and snacks for school and for activities like swim and lacrosse and basketball, which we're involved in right now. And the goldfish are gone, which is good, so I can push that one back. We are almost out of graham crackers and pretzels, which is good. We have a few crackers left. There's actually a few more sleeves of crackers in there, plus like some bars and little snack packages and some applesauces in here. And when they're out of those things, we still have some tortilla chips that they can use up as well. But a lot of that stuff will probably be gone by the end of the week, which is great. With my kids, I find that if I don't run out and just immediately buy a bunch of stuff, they will use what we have on hand. You know, it may be that they prefer goldfish. The goldfish are gone now, but what we still have are pretzels and graham crackers that need to get used. If I went out and bought more goldfish, they would just eat the new goldfish instead of using up the open packages of other things. They will use those things. It may not be exactly what they want, but they'll certainly have plenty. You know, they'll have what they need. I'm fairly pleased with the progress we're making on the canned goods. I can actually fit them all onto that little shelf instead of them spilling out over everywhere. These are unopened packages of pasta. Few random things here. I definitely don't need to buy salsa for a while because I've got 3 jars of it here. And still have a few open packages, like half-use packages of rice and pasta. I'm hoping I can find a use for that by the end of the week. For some reason, no matter how often I try to organize this baking shelf, these are like, you know, sugars and flours and the kinds of things that you would use for baking. It seems to always render itself to a state of disarray. So I am going to take everything out of here and just take a look at what I have and see if there's something that needs to be used up. You know, open packages of stuff, or even just like packages of things that have been in here for a while that maybe we need to put to use. Clever disguise. Don't you think? I like to arrange this shelf based on what I use frequently. Like the more frequent things need to go up front. So for instance, in this bin right here, there's things like baking soda and baking powder and vanilla, the kinds of things that I'm going to use frequently when I'm baking. Back here in the back is one that's more like sprinkles and different flavors of extracts and the kinds of things that are more in specialty recipes that I only use a handful of times in a year. And then over here, we've got baking mixes like cornbread and cake mixes and scone mixes and some pudding and jello below. And then over here I have just my bins with my flour and sugar, and just the regular flour is in front of the bread flour. I use it more frequently. The white sugar is in front of the brown and the powdered sugar. Use them more frequently. I probably need to find a different place to put the chocolate chips because my husband admitted that he eats these all the time, which is why my 4-pound bag has been reduced to just this little container over the past few months. He's a good man. He deserves a few chocolate chips. If you're wondering if we ever have to throw anything out, the answer is yes. We're not perfect. Sometimes I have to throw out, you know, produce that has spoiled, or maybe there's some new product that we've tried that we just absolutely do not care for and I can't find a use for it. We're just trying to do better, you know, make a little progress, but we're not perfect by any means. So if you find yourself having to throw a few things out, I'm right there with you. And since I took the time to clean up my baking shelf and take stock of what I have, we might as well bake something, right? And I found this recipe on Pinterest called chocolate chip pudding cookies that looks really good. It is from I Heart Nap Time. I will leave the link to the recipe in the description box below. Now that recipe calls for just a standard box of instant vanilla pudding. I only have cookies and cream, and it is a little over 4 ounces, and then a banana shake pudding that is only 3 ounces, which is a little bit less than the standard size box of pudding mix, which is 3.4 ounces. But I think we're gonna go with this banana pudding because chocolate chip banana, I mean, it all goes together, right? That sounds good. Plus I have one lonely overripe banana hanging right here. So might as well toss that in as well, right? It calls for 2 sticks or 1 cup of butter, but I'm reducing that by 2 tablespoons because I'm gonna use that banana. So I have 1 stick, which is 8 tablespoons, plus an additional 6 tablespoons. We'll just see how that works out. If I can even get this paper off the butter. Here we go. Ugh, already making a mess. I have started to measure my dry ingredients out using my scale if I can, because I can just tar the scale and then I can, you know, the negative is the amount that I would need. So I need 3/4 cup of brown sugar, which is equivalent to about 150 grams. So once my scale reaches negative 150, I know that I've taken 150 grams out of my container here, which is about what I have. It's probably gonna work out perfectly. Might as well just put those last few grams in there though, because I have some more that I can fill my container with. And then I need 50 grams or 1/4 cup of white sugar. There we go. I'm just gonna cream that all together. Baking powder, 1 teaspoon. Baking soda, 1 teaspoon. It says about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I just kind of eyeball it here. A little extra vanilla, doesn't hurt anything. I'm gonna go ahead and put my eggs in, 2 of them. And my banana. Boop. Mix, mix, mix. I'm going to go ahead and add my pudding mix in here while I also add the flour. I need about 2¼ cups, and each cup is 120 grams. So I need 240 grams of flour, and then 120 divided by 4 is 30. So 30, and an extra 30 grams would be another 1/4 cup. This is 270 grams of flour, which should be about 2¼ cups. Then I'm just going to stir in my chocolate chips. It says 1.5 cups, so I probably won't even use this whole container up, but I'll probably just add, you know, most of it. I'll just eyeball it again. It's chocolate, right? We can eyeball it. Okay, let me just tell you that if the batter is any indication, these are gonna be delicious. I love like the hint of banana flavor in there. So good. While those are baking up in the oven, I figure I better whip up some lunch because a woman cannot live on cookie dough alone, or can she? I don't think I want to find out. So gonna make a little lunch here. I have some cottage cheese that I need to use up, and for the most part, my kids will eat that for a snack. I think they've just forgotten that it's in there. But one of my favorite ways to eat cottage cheese is just with plain pasta or rice and maybe some veggies. It's super high in protein, so if I don't have like a meat sauce or some other kind of protein to put with my pasta, it goes really well. And I don't know, there's just something about like the warm pasta and the cold cottage cheese. I just like the combination. If you like to eat pasta salads in the summer and you don't have you don't want to put meat in your pasta salad, it's also really good with that. So just an idea if you're looking for a good protein source that's not meat. It is Thursday, And I believe I'm going to attempt something for dinner that's sort of akin to like a chicken and sausage jambalaya. I don't have any shrimp. Does all jambalaya have shrimp, or is that just like some jambalaya does? I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be basically like a chicken and sausage and rice type concoction with some like Cajun seasoning. I don't know. I'm gonna use some fire roasted tomatoes. I don't have any bell peppers. That would be really good with this, but I do have like some onions and celery. And like I said, I have the chicken and I have the sausage already thawed, and the chicken is actually even like cut up into little pieces. It's that already pre-cut chicken, so should be pretty easy. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the slow cooker tonight because I'm driving the swim carpool, and this is going to help me be able to get dinner together in the increments of time I have between coming and going from the house tonight from kids' activities. So I'll show you what I'm doing. I have about half an onion chopped and about 2 stalks of celery chopped, sauteing in here in a little bit of olive oil, and I went ahead and chopped up my chicken sausage and tossed it in here as well. I'm just gonna let that saute. I have my slow cooker here on the saute function. I'm gonna let that saute for, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 more minutes before I add the rest of the ingredients. I'm gonna season this with a little garlic powder, probably about a teaspoon or so, since I didn't use any fresh garlic. A little bit of basil. Oops, that's a lot of basil, don't need that much. A little bit, half a teaspoon. Some parsley. And this is just a Tony's Cajun seasoning. I get this at the Dollar Tree. About a teaspoon of that. I have 2 packages of this chicken that is already cut up. 1 can of tomatoes, and these are fire roasted. I don't think they have to be fire roasted. You could use a different kind. Plus, I'm gonna fill this can twice with water and pour that in, and then add about a tablespoon or so of this better than bouillon. You could use chicken broth obviously instead, but I just like using this. Since my chicken pieces are cut up already into little chunks, I'm gonna let that cook on high for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. And then I'm gonna come back and finish it up by adding the rice right into the crock pot. And if you have never cooked rice or pasta in the slow cooker, it is possible. You just typically add it at the end, like about 20 to 30 minutes before you're ready to eat. And you just have to make sure that there's enough liquid in the recipe for the pasta and rice to cook appropriately, and it works great for me. These are some odds and ends of rice that I wanna use up. These 2 packages are from meal kits that didn't get used. Then I have just a little bit of white rice here, and then there's just a little bit of this wild rice blend left in this bag. There's probably about 2 cups altogether of rice right here. But since this wild rice blend will take longer to cook than the white rice, I will go ahead and add it first and let it cook in the slow cooker with everything else for about 10 minutes on its own. And then I'll add the white rice to it, and then it should take another 10 to 15 minutes. And we should have a really delicious kind of chicken jambalaya-ish style dish to enjoy tonight. Yummy. It is Friday. Typically, when I do these use it up challenges, I usually just try to make it a few days. You know, I try to make it through a weekend, delay that grocery trip by 2 to 3 days, and challenge myself to use up what we have. But as I was cleaning out the refrigerator this morning and kind of taking stock of what we still had left in the pantry, I realized that we could probably easily still make it through the weekend. My husband and I are going out to dinner tonight with some friends. It's a date night that we have had planned for a little while. We also have a lacrosse game tomorrow that is taking us out of town for a few hours to a nearby town. My kids have birthday parties that they are attending this weekend. Over the course of the weekend, we're either gonna be out of the house, so meals are taken care of elsewhere, and for the handful of times when we're actually here, we have plenty of food that we still need to use up. Plus, I know my family, and I know as soon as I do a grocery trip and I bring new food into the household, even though it's, you know, stuff I've probably purchased a gajillion times, all of the focus will shift from using up the existing food to enjoying all of the new exciting things that have just made their way into our house. So since we have plenty to nourish us here for a few more days, I'm gonna delay this trip just a little bit longer. But even just my usual 1 to 2, maybe 3 day use it up challenges where I delay going to the grocery store is a huge help in our budget, and it helps us be good stewards of the things that we have and not waste money we've already spent. Lots of produce. We were in definite need of a restock here. The berries were looking fantastic today. I got some raspberries, some blueberries, and some blackberries. Those probably won't last long. Of course, we have the cuties and the apple apples. Those are a favorite of the kids and really easy portable snack or lunch packing item. Some romaine hearts. The conventional ones did not look good, and they looked like they were not long for this refrigerator if I purchased those. So I got the organic ones because they looked fresher. And then I also picked up some bell peppers, some grapes. My kids love to pack these mini cucumbers and carrots in their lunches, some bananas. I needed to restock my onions. These last a really long time. I did go ahead and pick up a few bags of frozen broccoli. So a lot of this I am actually going to go ahead and wash and prep so that it is ready to consume pretty quickly. And then I also got a few items for some quick meals this week. I don't know that I'm filming a dinners video yet. I haven't planned what I'm filming this week. I probably am going to just kind of press the easy button. My daughter requested grilled cheese sandwiches, so I thought I would make just some grilled cheese sandwiches and maybe some fruit or some yogurt parfaits or something tonight. It's going to be rainy and chilly tomorrow, so I thought I'd do a tortellini soup with this sausage and the tortellini. And I saw a really interesting recipe for a stir-fried chicken. I have the ingredients for it, but I thought I would pick up this vegetable fried rice to be a possible meal. If not, it can stay in the freezer for a little while and we can use it later. I have some feta cheese here for salads, and then there were just some pantry items that I needed to restock. Ruthie requested a pasta salad to pack in her lunch this week, so I'll probably whip up something with that. Have some pasta sauce and ketchup and peanut butter and just a little bit of canned soup. In addition to fruits and vegetables and occasionally leftovers from an evening meal, these are items that my kids typically pack in their lunches or for snacks or eat for breakfasts. Several of these are frequent flyers you see all the time, like our favorite kind of cereal, waffles. My kids like to toast these with peanut butter. We've got some graham crackers and pretzels and goldfish. I'll be refilling our snack containers with these to make for easy lunch packing. Got some tortilla chips. My kids really like to make sandwiches from the cracked black pepper turkey or pepperonis, and they prefer to do that with whipped cream cheese. My son likes to make his with tortillas, and then my daughters like to use bread. But sometimes they like to take these little naan breads and maybe put some cheese and some cold cuts or something for like a little homemade Lunchable. These are a favorite of my children. They love the rye chips, and Gardetto's has started to make the bags with just the rye chips again. And then I wanted to really try these Baby Bells. These are the white cheddar Baby Bells. I haven't tried those yet. And then these are new to us also. It's the, is it Ozeri or Ozeri Family Bakery snacking rounds. I actually got these with my swimmers in mind, especially my oldest daughter who swims 2-hour practices. And so I'm always looking for things that are kind of compact carbs for her to have like at lunchtime or on the shuttle on the way to swim practice after school. So I'm gonna get all this put away and ready for the kids to pack their lunches and snacks for the week. I almost forgot because I popped these into the freezer as soon as I got home, and I forgot to get them back out to film the haul, but I splurged on a few treats. These are definite splurges, not all the time purchases. This is my favorite Halo Top. It is the chocolate chip cookie dough. And then I don't know that I've seen these mini Haagen-Dazs bars. These are delicious. I've had the full-size ones. There's just something about Haagen-Dazs. It's just fantastic. And these are the mini ones though, and there's 6 of them in here. And a serving size, it says, is 2 bars, but I mean 1 bar, 180 calories. I think that's not bad at all. Now for the fun part of putting it all away. Thank you again to Water Drop for sponsoring, and don't forget to check your local Walmart for the Water Drop products. Pick out one of these videos to watch next, and I'll see you there.